Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Now the lighting may be terrible here, um, but we're gonna roll with it. And this is a mess, but we're real here. Look, I haven't got, you know, an aesthetically pleasing flat in every corner. Got some nice corners, but not everywhere. Anyway, moving on. Today I'm gonna be talking about building followers. And I just want to preface this with I know I'm not Zoella, and especially on YouTube, I'm just starting out properly. So I'm not talking about YouTube, I'm talking about the likes of Instagram, LinkedIn. I was back on Twitter back in the day. And I've gained, thousands of followers on all platforms. And I get asked so much about how to build a proper community, not just going viral, but like actually building people that care. So I thought I would just talk about that today because it's something that I'm really passionate about, and I think there's a lot of myths out there. So let's debunk them while I do my makeup because I'm just going to do a quick look today so we can talk about it all together. So, let me take my glasses. How to build a following online. The first thing I would say, which I say to everyone, is try and conquer the nerves and the awkwardness as quick as possible. So, the only way that you're going to do that is by practice, practice, practice. I have actually got a video all about how to be more camera confident, so I can put that. I think you can put it up here somewhere. So yeah, because I think it's really telling if someone's awkward or uncomfortable. Now we've got to start somewhere, so like don't get too het up about it to the point where you can't concentrate and you're not really getting across the message. But maybe it's about practicing what you're saying and keep recording, even if you're not going to publish everything yet. Just keep practicing talking to the camera to the point where it comes out naturally and people just start to see the real you, and it's not like obviously you can edit out all the ums and stuff like that as well. So yeah, try and conquer the awkwardness. Really believe in why you want to do it and the end goal. Like you're not going to be at the end goal straight away. So that is number one, I would say. The second thing I would say is you have to make yourself memorable. Now, I don't mean saying something really controversial and people are like, oh my god, that's that girl that said that really horrible thing. Don't do that. What I mean is, like, over the years, I have posted loads of like little bits about myself. It's not necessarily, about my professional career. It's more just like the fact that I love my air fryer and my Ninja, and I talk about it a lot. People know that I love hash browns. I love a cup of tea in the morning. I share my favourite colour of my cup of tea. Like, there's all those things that people start to get to know the real you. Because if you script your videos so much, then people are only going to know the stuff that's kind of scripted. So yeah, I just like share everything. Well, not everything. I don't share like if I'm in a bad mood or whatever, but I just share like what I'm doing and anything that, like, if you're at work and you're in a lift and you do the small talk, anything that what you're having for tea tonight, like, people are interested, people are nosy, so don't be afraid to just throw out little bits of information about yourself. You'll be very surprised at who replies, either relating or they're just nosy and they might want to find out like more about whatever you've talked about, like what hash brown brand, or what is the Ninja like, etc., etc. So yeah, don't be afraid to be memorable and just show your true self on camera. The next one is make sure you have either regular content or a series. This is because people start to, look forward to your content in some way, or they'll recognize a pattern and they're like, oh yeah, that's that girl who cooks hash browns every week. I realise this is very hash brown heavy. But anything, like, I will post, skits of people saying ableist things, and people are like, oh, can you do a part 2 or part 3? So I end up doing similar content that people can almost expect to come back in the future, just so that people know what to expect. Why are people going to follow you? Like, make sure that you create a page where there is some consistency there. You don't have to do the same thing all the time. Like, don't just do the same video over and over again. But just do familiar videos that people start to think, oh yeah, I love that kind of video. It's like, whatever, we all follow someone who you either like what they say, or you like certain type of jokes, or so it's just about creating familiarity and almost like someone's comfort. They enjoy coming back and watching the new thing that their favourite content creator has created basically. And remember, when you're doing kind of regular content as well, just on the side, like, make sure you don't leave it too long in between the similar videos. So, like, if you're gonna do a series, you could do it every Monday, or you don't have to be really strict, but just like make it, kind of regular enough that people will follow and they'll stick following with you because they know that the content is quite regular. I find that, people stay more if you do the same types of videos and it's expected. So that's one thing that I definitely think is useful to have. The next one sounds really obvious, but you would be surprised at how many people say, oh, no one's interacting with me, and, I don't know why I bother, blah, blah, blah. But then I'll look at their page and they're not answering the comments, they're not engaging with people, and that, I would say, is one of the most important things to do to build a network and a community. Like, it's like, I was thinking about this morning when I was thinking about making this video. It's like going into a room of people, like a work event or whatever, sitting in a corner and saying, no one spoke to me. Well, did you speak to them? Like, you have to really engage with people and be bold. And, I see comments sometimes that's like, if someone says, oh, I really love this video, and they'll just reply with a love heart. And yeah, that's lovely, but like, it's all about how are people gonna connect with a love heart? They're not gonna. It's nice, don't get me wrong, but if you want to build a strong community of people, then it's about saying, oh, thank you so much. That means a lot. What would you like to see in the next video? And I know that some people will absolutely cringe at the thought of doing that, but that's the difference between having a non-active and an active platform, is you have to be bold enough to speak to people so that people feel connected. And I think that's the next level between having a community and building a community. Personally, that's what I think. And I take pride in setting a lot of time aside actually, to chat to people, to reply to people who are regulars, and, really support my work, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have the opportunities that I do now, and I mean that genuinely. There are some regulars that I always reply to because, in the DMs and stuff, because I really appreciate the time they've taken to support my channel or my Instagram or my TikTok, wherever I am. So yeah, that is a huge one for me. I think it's about chatting as if you were in the room with them. Um, so don't forget that and build your confidence to talk to people as you would in person. And if you wouldn't usually, be the bold one to talk in person, just practice. Just every now and then, add another little sentence to your heart, ask people questions, or, just be, you know, thankful for their comment. And finally, speaking of conversation, I think another really good way to build a community is actually listening to the comments and creating your content around people's comments. So, for example, if people send me questions on a video or a post, I'll think, that obviously someone's thought about this and they're intrigued. So that's a topic that possibly people want to know more about. So I'll either ask them outright. I'll be like, "Oh, is there anything in particular you sort of wondering about?" And it might be a fellow disabled person who is in a similar position to me, or a parent or carer. And yeah, it's amazing what ideas you can come out with once you start listening to the comments. Oh my god, have I just done that bronzer really, really badly? Wait, let's have a look. Oh my god, yeah, have I? This lighting is definitely not the one. Oh well, I'm literally just working from home today. Yeah, so making content from people's comments is such a good way to build community. Not only because you've kind of you've got regular content that's relatable, but also people feel like they're being listened to. Which I don't know about you, but like anytime I comment on someone's account and they reply to me, especially if they reply and they make a video reply, I'm like, oh my god. So yeah, it's just about making people feel heard as well, which in this day and age it's really hard to feel heard, especially in a minority group where being disabled or any other minority group is really tough right now. So I think that's where building a community is really important. So yeah, I hope this has helped. I mean, there's so many other points that I could talk about. So if this is something that you are interested in, please do let me know. I will obviously reply to the comments. But I hope you enjoyed this. And if you are building a community, you've got this. You can do it. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be cringe. And someone out there, if not more, will feel comforted by your content, will feel relatable, and will want to come back for more. So don't forget that. Speaking of, I'll be back again next Sunday at 10 a.m. So I shall see you there.